I came into this space in BPSAA. My presentation today is more talking about BPSAA, not so much from a security, but from a marketing standpoint. I have some slides on Ether-1, which I'm going to go over, but I really don't want to give an Ether-1 commercial today. I want to talk more about BPSAA and my role in the association, also my role at Ether-1, which is primarily business development. And we've had a lot of great people talk already today, heavy on technology. And why I think that's really important, I look at it from a little bit different perspective. So a little bit about me. I've been doing software development professionally for over 25 years. I had an ISP back in the 90s, one of the first ISPs in the United States. I've been doing technology and internet for a long time. I got involved with cryptocurrency probably in 2016, and then started heavily getting into it in 2017 as a miner. Hence, Hashratez is how I got my nickname. And as I looked around for different projects, I ran into Ether-1. It's something I could mine, and I started mining Ether-1. And at one point in time, I carried more hash on that network than anybody else for probably a year. And then I started looking at the project and realized that the project has a real use case. It allows censorship-free hosting. You can mine it, you can host it, you can run nodes, you can make money. And it's like, wow, a real business with a real use case that has real profits in the cryptocurrency space. And so I said, hey, let's check this out a little bit. And I jumped into Discord, which I never really used before. I'm an older guy, right? I got a sport coat on, not a young kid, got involved in all that kind of stuff and found the Ether-1 folks amazing and the dev team really great. And what they were lacking, I felt, was business, right? A guy with a sport coat on, an older guy, the kind of the man in the room, to be able to bring business development and look at this open source project as a business. And so we are open source. There is no pre-mine, there is no president, there is no anything like that. So that was interesting to get used to. And then furthermore, then comes along the BPSAA. And so they said, hey, we need some folks to help us. And what do you think about this? And I looked at it. I made Drath, hats off to Drath for what he does for the association. And Ether-1 became one of the four founders of original BPSAA. And primarily, again, I looked at it from a business standpoint. You know, I wanted to get the word out. I wanted to get marketing out. How can small projects somehow band together, weren't necessarily competitors, and get out there into the space and represent these small projects and be able to have a voice, right? And then recently, in the last year, BPSAA, to me, has become super mission critical for everybody in the space, especially when you think about privacy. Adoption, people are adopting cryptocurrencies like crazy. It's all over the news. It's on CNBC every night. They're talking about Bitcoin. The adoption's going to come. Security is obviously important to have secure networks and not get ripped off and all these type of things. But when you think about privacy, for me, in the BPSAA, it's the first word in the name, right? It's the Blockchain Privacy, Security, and Adoption Alliance. And so for me, in my role at the BPSAA, I think more now than ever, privacy is under attack. I'm a libertarian at heart, and I think that our projects need to band together to protect our users. Our users need to be educated that the BPSAA can do. And there is no voice out there yet that represents this in the space. And I see the BPSAA is really starting to do that. We're getting a critical mass. You know, I think our Twitter feed is now over 400,000 people. And at some point in time, whether we like it or not, you know, we're going to have to be on Capitol Hill fighting for our projects and for our users. And so I think that is really important. I know it sounds draconian and it's against the crypto ethos of freedom and all that. But the reality is we're going to have to live in this kind of world, and somebody's going to have to bridge that, unless we all want to get crushed by Coinbase, right? And I don't think we want that. So privacy means your financial transactions, right? Being able to have transactions with people. How about censorship? Would you call privacy now censorship? I mean, look what's happening with the cancel culture. If they don't like your tweet or they don't like what you're hosting, they'll just pull the plug, right? I mean, this is dangerous territory. And if people don't think we're under attack, you're out of your mind. We are. And I'm not like a conspiracy theory guy, but it is. And of course, now when I talk about Ether-1, right now, more than ever, our solution, which is one of many here at the BPSAA, allows censor-free hosting, right? We don't know who you are. You can buy the cryptocurrency anonymously. You can pay for your hosting. You can host things on our network. There is no central point of failure. It's decentralized. And so now even our little solution, which 3 or 4 years ago I just thought was kind of cool, now Ether-1 is a mission critical solution going forward for privacy. And in this case, I think free speech, if you want to consider two of the same. It's really amazing what's happening. And the BPSAA right now is needed more than ever. We need projects and we need users, because if not, it's going to be a very unpleasant place for living. A little bit about Ether-1. We're a decentralized hosting product. We have nodes. People host the nodes. You get paid for hosting the nodes. And so it's a network and it's a protocol that allows basically censorship-free hosting of websites and data. You could think of people in the space like Filecoin and others. There's a lot out there, but Ether-1's been around since 2018. May is when we had our Genesis block. So we've been doing this a long time. It's decentralized. Everything about our solution is run by our users. Again, we had a council vote. I got voted on the council along with 6 or 7 others. So we have votes all the time. We're a decentralized organization that our community runs the project. They elect us to go ahead and represent them. Today, of course, on this particular slide, we talk a little bit about free speech and censorship-free hosting. And so, Ether-1 is really out there right now more than ever to be able to have that kind of solution. And obviously, I guess people are catching on. Our crypto's up 900% as of January of this year. So we're starting to get some traction. Again, we talk a little bit about hosting and storage. We have a dashboard and a wallet that everybody can use to go ahead and be able to upload data and control your data. We can't take your data down. You post your data, you remove your data. It's completely in your control. We don't know who you are. We can't delete your data even if we wanted to, because again, it's decentralized and encrypted. A little bit about our network here, network slide. Again, we've got 700 or 800 servers worldwide. If you want to run one of our servers, you actually share in the network profit as people pay to host. Everybody that's on our network who runs a server actually gets paid for hosting a virtual machine server. So you can participate in the income of the network as we build out. Again, decentralized governance for our project. We believe in our own dog food. There isn't a central authority here. We're all run by the community. And again, all this revenue shared with our users. All of the revenue goes to the users. I think there's a small fraction of the block reward, which is infinitesimal, that actually goes back to the project. So there's kind of a little roadmap there that we have on board. For those of you that are into the mining thing, we have a sliding block scale as we transition away from block rewards more to a network-based income stream. There's our chart for our depreciation of the token. And then a little competitive analysis here on the right side, talking about how we compare against some of the other decentralized file serving solutions out there. Of course, we think that we're way out in front of that. My role, I think, at BPSAA is to represent our organization going forward and also to rep the BPSAA as we mature as an industry, and to be able to bring together all the players at the BPSA, all our partners in the alliance, to be able to have a word and a central authority to be able to take this space where it needs to go. I know, again, that the ethos is that people are not interested in having everybody give in to the man, but the reality is the man's out there, and we're going to have to man up if we want to be able to stay independent and have privacy and have security and have adoption. The NFT thing, I think, is Dutch tulips. I think it's cool and it's fun. I certainly wouldn't put my life savings into it. That's not the space. What the space is, what's going to really make this $1 billion or $1 trillion industry, is use case and business utilization. NFTs are fun, but it isn't really solving a problem, right? And it's speculation. And I love to speculate. I love to mine, and I buy, SHIT coins and all that other stuff, and it's fun, and I play, right? But it isn't business. The real gorilla in the room is when people are using blockchain for mission-critical applications, period. That's when we become a $1 trillion industry. Every day we're getting closer to that. DeFi, for example, right, is really turning out to be cool. I wrote an article, you guys, it's on Medium, actually, about how I bought my car using Daicoin, and I used Ethereum to finance my car. I kept my crypto, and I bought my car with Ethereum that I never had to sell. I got thousands of hits on that Medium article. So I went out and I bought a car, and that's when Ethereum was $200, and I never sold one of them, thank God, right? So that's a real use case. A guy bought a car with his crypto, and he still has his crypto. DeFi right now is the space. There's a lot of BS out there, but that is only the one of where we're going to go. It's exciting. The space has never been more exciting. We've got 400,000 subscribers or Twitter followers across our organizations. But I think it's like everything else. The man, whoever the man is, whether it happens to be the U.S. man or the European man or the Asian man, they're counting on fragmentation, right? Divide and conquer. It's the oldest rule of war, right? Divide and conquer. So the BPSAA is almost taking on a role that I don't think we thought about. When we started this as a founding member with Sentinel, Turtle, and I think Pirate were the 4 founding members, we weren't thinking about individual advocacy rights for our end users. We were thinking about our projects and banding together and collaboration. But I see it as bigger. I mean, I see the BPSAA could be an organization to help represent individuals that want to have cryptocurrency in freedom. It's not about trying to be a bad guy or doing illicit trade or hiding your transactions. It's about the ability to be able to have financial freedom and to be able to fight for that. And that could be the bigger role for the BPSAA down the road. Maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, we've got hundreds or tens of millions of users around the world, and they come to us and we try to navigate these waters. I mean, if somebody doesn't do it, then it's not going to get done. And maybe we're going to be tasked with a role we never imagined. I don't know. I hope so. Somebody better do it or they're going to crush us.